This episode of Total Drama Reviews contains clips from Total Drama Action. I do not own Total Drama Action. All rights go to FreshTV. Remember to be civil and do not be me in the comments. Seriously, it can get really messed up. Carpe diem, my name is Ultranatic, and this is Total Drama Reviews. This is where I, as a lover of animation and reality shows, look over the show that combine them together the best. And the episode we're looking over today is Masters of Disasters, of course tackling the disaster movie genre. That's promising. Actually, I'll be honest, I've got a soft spot for disaster films, due to the intensity of the scenes and high budget effects. But, disaster films have the most appropriate genre name ever. I won't explain that joke any further. Maybe a few are good depending on what one qualifies for that genre, but generally they're crap. But Total Drama tackling this genre isn't a bad idea. Heck, they kinda did that already in Camp Castaways. And that's a personal favorite of mine, so maybe this can be one too. So will this episode prove to be a survivor? Or is the end of the world inevitable? We'll do as the Atomic Cafe says and duck and cover. This is Masters of Disasters. We open with a flashback to a former Total Drama review. Interesting start. Wait, why did I write that in the opening? If you're wondering why I'm not okay with that, just wait till I get to this episode. Oh, son of a gun! Yeah, now let's talk about Beth.
I was really hoping they'd replace Chris the Creep with a nicer host this time around.
It's no secret I've disliked her throughout the entire season, despite her having moments where she's actually pretty good.
I didn't suffer through 8 years of braces, headgear, saliva spittle, and the ridicule of my peers so I could hide from life.
But something about her bad moments taints my entire image of her. Because in the first season, she's presented as a quirky but innocent nerd who gets walked all over by Heather.
I'm doing this for Heather? I don't even like her.
But she finds the strength to stand up to Heather and gain some new friends. It's a very likable arc to put her in.
Even though Heather can be really mean, that doesn't mean we should be mean back, right?
And retconned. Just erase any traits about her we might have enjoyed and go in the opposite direction. Okay, fine, she does have a mostly likable friendship with Lindsay.
Don't let Heather have my hair, okay? Never. Can I have your hair if you die? I don't think so.
And some good scenes showing leadership while keeping true to her season 1 self.
It's over.
What if I tie these bracelets around the towers to keep them up?
It's a sandcastle building contest, Beth.
No, it's a prop sandcastle building contest. Anything goes.
But in my opinion, those aren't really enough to overshadow her bad moment, because they make this otherwise heroic character look like anything but. And for anyone not caught up on my reasons for that, check out my Shevchenk Redemption review.
Wow, Gwen, you're going even faster than Trent ever could.
But considering she does have good moments throughout the season, I'd like to say I could overlook that, and I really want to. I'd rather appreciate the good aspects of a character than the bad, but oh boy, Beth found another way to lose all respect she could have had with me. And now that I brought all that up, let's get into the actual episode, where, since Chef DJ left, the characters are now forced to eat Chef's nasty food again.
I really miss DJ's cooking. It was as awesome as this is completely grossitating.
I wish I had this disgusting slop around last time I was trying to stick to my diet.
But Beth has an interesting development to share.
I wish my boyfriend was here. He's such a great cook.
Boyfriend? I don't remember any talk of a boyfriend.
Yep, Beth reveals she has a boyfriend, and all throughout the season, no one believes her. Gee, I can't imagine why, considering the incredible circumstances of how and when they met.
We met between TV seasons. Wasn't that only like 2 days? We met at the orthodontist. He was getting his braces off at the same time as me.
The fact the only information she knows about him are stats on the back of his headshot.
I can tell you everything about him. He's 6 feet tall, has light brown hair, blue eyes, size 10 shoe.
Wait a second. Those stats are all written on the back of his picture. I know a comp card when I see one because I'm a professional male model.
Which is another hole in Beth's story. She says he was getting his braces off, but there's clearly no braces in that photo. So I guess he just got another headshot in less than 2 days' time and gave one to Beth just before the season? That's totally believable.
I bought a lot of junk off late night infomercials, but I ain't buying that.
But if you want any greater indication of why no one believes her about her boyfriend, well,
I have a boyfriend. I'd love my boyfriend. Didn't I mention my boyfriend before?
You sure do like that word boyfriend.
Yeah, it isn't until part 2 of the challenge today she even reveals that he's named Brady.
My boyfriend used to do underwater photo shoots and taught me how to hold my breath for a really long time.
My agent totally wants me to learn that.
Brady could teach you.
And 80% of the rest of the season she just refers to him as boyfriend.
My boyfriend? My boyfriend. Boyfriend. My totally real boyfriend.
Was he live in Canada? Oh wait, he probably does live in Canada. Or is he just hard to get in touch with? Alright, reality show, hello. But you get the idea. It makes perfect sense why some people would have a hard time believing he's real. Let me spoil the finale for you.
He's not only real, he's really handsome.
Yup, Brady exists, which begs a number of questions, starting with, why was it so hard to give details on this guy?
He's 6 feet tall, has light brown hair, blue eyes, 32 pant with a 34-inch inseam.
Like, I know you only talked a maximum of 2 days, but if that was enough time to cement a boyfriend-girlfriend status, I'd assume it's enough time for Beth to know more information about this guy than Anna did about Hans, at least.
What's his last name?
Of the Southern Isles.
Favorite food?
Sandwiches.
Best friend's name?
Probably John.
Eye color?
Dreamy.
Foot size?
Foot size doesn't matter.
But that's a minor plot hole. There's an ethical problem I have with this too. Because even though she's taken, have you noticed how many times throughout the season that Beth flirts with Justin?
All of the good-looking people.
Yeah, follow Justin. I have a boyfriend.
Feels so good.
Looks even better. I love my boyfriend. Pig's good for his hair. Holy crap, I love his hair. Didn't I mention my boyfriend before? Justin! I wanted to tell him he looked like a surfing god. I have a boyfriend. I'll just read the book to you. Spare your beautiful eyes. I love my boyfriend.
My lips.
Maybe they feel better if I press mine against them. Didn't I mention my boyfriend before?
Now I thought this through for a bit, and if Brady wasn't real and she just wanted to make Justin jealous, that'd be fine. But he is real, so that's no good. However, I've also mentioned that Beth having an attraction to Justin was not something I was against by itself.
You've been chasing after a boyfriend all this time? With a honey back home?
Yeah, even with her having a boyfriend, it wouldn't bother me, as other characters definitively in Showmances are also attracted to him. Because the joke is just how gorgeous Justin is.
Wow, you can fly!
But there is a major difference between when Gwen and Lindsay are attracted to Justin and when Beth is. Gwen and Lindsay are obviously stunned by Justin's beauty, but at the time they clearly like their respective boyfriends more.
Ignore the incredibly hot man, Candy, and keep walking.
You know what would be so great? Is if you picked Tyler.
What I'm saying is, these lustful glances don't actually impact their real relationships at all. But they certainly would for Beth. I'm not just assuming that either, look.
You've been chasing after a boyfriend all this time? With a honey back home?
Sure, my boyfriend's a model, but he's still just a guy. Justin is a supermodel. I can't help myself. Now that my braces are off, it's a whole new dating world.
So she has a boyfriend and she's dumping him. For Justin. On national television.
Ooh, that's cold, bro.
Now, this isn't the only time something like this has happened in reality TV. In Big Brother 17, a guy who had a girlfriend in real life fell in love with a different girl in the game. But he made a point of formally ending the relationship as best as he could.
I ruined my life for you.
Oh, really? How?
I chose you over a girl at home because I fell in love with you.
I can't say I agree with how that went down, but at least this guy's picking one person and not trying to have it both ways. Beth seems to be doing exactly that, having Brady back home but potentially gaining Justin, which is a move that is so low a flea couldn't limbo under it.
My boyfriend used to do underwater photo shoots and taught me how to hold my breath.
My agent totally wants me to learn that.
Brady could teach you. Then I'd have you both to myself.
Now, the only other conclusion I can come up with is maybe Brady and her agreed for her to be flirtatious as a strategy. Like, they knew the risks of how it could impact the relationship, but he trusts her enough to keep it strictly gameplay. But that doesn't work because, well, she clearly breaks that trust.
Now that my braces are off, it's a whole new dating world.
And also because people who play the flirtatious card don't normally tell others they're taken.
I love my boyfriend. What? Didn't I mention my boyfriend before?
So none of this is strategy, none of it's respectable, it's just Beth being a blatantly two-timing seducing... That is my major problem with Beth, and it only took me about half a review to address it. We're in for a treat. Okay, to be fair, the episode from this point onward is actually a lot better than that. As Harold grabs several bendy straws, which were there despite no cups being around, that's weird, and gives a pretty funny backstory regarding them.
These are just like the ones they had at the hospital where I had my kidney switched. I was born with a rare kidney condition. My left kidney was where the right one should be. I'm a rare case.
You're a rare case, all right.
You're just jealous his beatboxing beat your diary shaming and not quite famous. Karma's a bitch and so is Beth.
You won't be holding on to your lunch for much longer.
And exactly what torture have you concocted for us today?
Just that your day will be a total disaster. It's a disaster movie theme. Each team has to run the course, challenging your dexterity, maneuverability, and other Mad Monkey skills. First team to the top wins. Best out of 2 earns today's reward.
Spoilers, one team wins part 1, the other part 2, so that works on neither this level nor this one. The challenge commences and things look pretty promising, being both really funny and also kind of intense.
If you break it, you buy it.
Although we do get a few plot holes like this bit about a hailstorm.
Golf ball-sized hail is bad, but hail-sized golf balls are even worse.
You do realize that golf balls have a constant size and hail doesn't, right? I know they just wanted a wordplay joke, but this one kind of bothers me. Not Beth cheating on Brady bothers me, but that one without saying. Speaking of which...
My boyfriend was part of a rescue team that saved people stuck in avalanches.
Okay, details about Brady are appreciated, but now we have a running gag where Beth just brings up facts about Brady that happen to pertain to whatever is going on at the moment. And in doing so, it only makes Brady seem more imaginary.
My boyfriend had a summer job cleaning up after earthquakes and landslides. My boyfriend used to do underwater photo shoots and taught me how to hold my breath for a really long time. I wish my boyfriend was here. He's such a great cook.
I'm a professional male model.
Well, maybe he's a model too.
I don't think Jesus was as perfect as this guy you're describing.
Hey, it stopped!
Jeff, do something!
Oh, but if you thought that casualty was bad, well, see this one for yourself.
My unpublished manifesto. I've lived a lot of years.
That'll hurt come morning.
Yep, Owen's jaw gets busted, and it actually leads to 2 implausible things. 1, the Grips winning part 1 despite the gaffers actually completing the whole course.
Owen won the challenge for the killer grip.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Yeah, we got our whole team across the finish line.
Serious injury trumps all.
You just make up the rules as you go along, don't you?
Oh, you're just now noticing that? But also, I can't believe the show finally did this. Owen gets hospitalized. No, seriously, Owen gets a really heinous injury and is going to get the proper medical care to fix his broken jaw.
And that's 2 impossible things we've seen so far tonight. Don't you love it when that happens?
Now, granted, this isn't the first time someone has had this happen. Cody got put in a full body cast in Paintball Deer Hunter, and Trent got sent to the ER in extreme torture.
Is there anything you want to ask me before they take you to get rebone?
However, Cody, despite being mauled by a bear, wasn't actually hospitalized when he obviously should have been.
Our medical tent's really only equipped for 1 at a time, and Cody's pretty messed up.
And while Trent did get hospitalized, it was for falling out of a plane and not opening his parachute, which wouldn't result in a hospital visit, it would result in Trent's early grave.
Sayonara, Trent. I hope your attempts to impress Weird Goth Girl are worth the chalk outline.
However, Owen's injury is one that wouldn't kill him, but would definitely require a trip to the hospital, and he gets it. So, you win this round, total drama action, but I'll be back! Part 2 then commences where the teams are put in submarines that will fill with water until one team is able to escape, with the Gribs gaining advantage of a lock combination.
Anybody know how to pick a lock?
I learned how to open a combo lock at Picky Steve's lock-picking camp.
You do have mad skills.
Oh no! It's a combination lock!
Sound familiar?
You know in my last review how I said half the time Lindsay is great, but the other half she's written as a stereotypical dumb blonde? Well...
How are we ever going to open it?
Okay, her idiocy is aggravating and simultaneously funny. But if you thought that was stupid...
I'll do it.
No, I want to do it.
Just give it to me. Lindsay, Lindsay, Lindsay.
Come on.
So, come on. What are the numbers? Read them out.
I'm surrounded by loons!
Where?
Oh, I love ducks.
Okay, fine. Their idiocy is aggravating and simultaneously funny. With the bomb hatches being locked and the top hatches containing fire and... The contestants are up a creek without paddle. Or drowning without snorkels or whatever.
Did I mention I don't like water? Cause I don't, honey. You look like a floater. That another big girl joke?
No, it's actually a common insult in reality shows.
Floaters, you better grab a life vest. Kristen.
You float like a bob on a fishing pole is what you do.
Meanwhile, Chris and Chef are monitoring the situation with the same amount of attention as Vicky when babysitting Timmy Turner.
You know when I'm watching you, I'm watching something on TV!
But once they realize the characters could die, Chris uncharacteristically cares about them staying alive.
We've got to get the cast out of there. No more contestants equals no more episodes equals no paycheck. And the end of my luxurious lifestyle.
Oh, now's the time to bring that up? Speaking of things coming out of nowhere, Lashana, with practically no reason to admit she lied about crying in the medical challenge.
This could be it. The end. And I want to live.
You don't have to cry.
Who said anything about crying? Lashana never cried.
You sure blubbered enough when a reward was on the line.
It's been so stressful.
All in favor?
You mean Lashana fake cried to get the reward with Lashaniqua? You're gonna pay for this, big, loud, and proud!
I'll be fair, that is a totally valid reaction to that. Albeit a hypocritical one for Heather as far as fake crying goes.
I'm just so surprised to hear you supporting her, after all the horrible things that she says about you.
But Harold makes a snorkel out of bendy straws to extend his time trying to unlock the hatch. To the Mission Impossible theme. Might want to save that for the merge is all I'm saying.
Looks like another reward win for the Gaffers. Seems like the grips are a tad overdue.
I'd probably agree if that team were any good at challenges, or existing.
And now let's see what the Gaffers have won. An all-expenses-paid trip to beautiful British Columbia. You'll be staying at the luxurious inn on the volcano. To get you there, you'll be enjoying an exhilarating 8-day hike up the craggy, treacherous. No thank you.
Okay, that was hilarious. Props for that. They instead settle on chips and pop. Owen returns with his jaw wired shut. Apparently his hospital stay was pretty short, and he's allowed to eat with the Gaffers, provided he doesn't sue.
Hey! You dropped your chips in my pop! Hey! You spilled your pop in my chips!
Well, it worked with peanut butter and chocolate.
And that was Masters of Disasters. Not too bad, actually. Yeah, I went on a giant rant regarding Beth, but that's less a problem with the episode and more a problem with Beth overall. I only went over my issues with it here because this is where her boyfriend is first ever mentioned. And even then, no one believes her, so it results in some good comedic comebacks.
My boyfriend was part of a rescue team that saved people stuck in avalanches. He used to say,
Beth, we need actual advice from real, live, living people.
I really wish my boyfriend was here.
It would be great if he were here. You're right. You know it would be better?
What?
If he existed in the first place!
Also, the rest of the comedy was very funny, the challenge was pretty intense, and for once, proper usage of an injury in-game, even if short-lived. So while it should have been the easiest target to pick on, this episode, like most disaster films, had a happy ending after all. And now that's over. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Time to answer the Call of Duty again!